come running away over the pole. Flying in a big airliner, he had chicken flying everywhere around the place. Could we ever feel much finer? Coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Don't touch my bag if you please, Mr. Customs Man. And there's a guy with a ticket to Mexico. No, he couldn't look much stranger, walking in a hall with the singing on. Smiling said he was a lone ranger, coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Don't touch my bag if you please, Mr. Customs Man. And there's a woman walking on a moving floor, tripping on the escalator. There's a man in line, she's blown his mind, thinking that he's already made her. Coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Don't touch my bag if you please, Mr. Customs Man. Hey, how you doing out there, guitar heroes? All right, well, we got another song from 1970. Coming into Los Angeles, Arlo Guthrie. And man, you know, how do you like to be in the son of Woody Guthrie, the famous folk singer from the 50s? Must be a lot of heat on Arlo. So he did come up with a few hit songs. He's probably the composer of the famous Alice's Restaurant song, if anybody remembers that one. Like 15 or 17 minutes of a song about garbage was illegally dumped along the road, and there was a big stink about that, and that's what that's what Arlo's story was about. So then we got the Coming into Los Angeles. This is really a good song, but we got a little bit of a speed to it, and the chords that we got in here are, and this the original key I think starts in A minor, so this is actually down a little bit to fit my singing voice. Arlo could sing really high. Original key I think was in C and started with A minor, and I'm in standard tuning and I'm starting with E minor, which is roughly the equivalent. Now, so you think, okay, well, where would A minor be up here with a minor bar chord, and it would be at the 5th fret. So Arlo would be singing it up here, roughly same, same key. He'd be starting up here, rather than me starting down here. So he's up a few whole notes, right, to get up there. So if you're not playing with a band that's specifically going to stay in that key, then it don't matter, and you got to use the capo to your advantage, so it makes sense for your voice. And the beauty of the capo is as your voice matures, and as you're able to sing higher and higher, which you should be pressing yourself, then you just keep moving this thing up, and it's really a great tool for kind of exercising the vocal cords. And you want to sing as high as you can to make it sound right. Most of these singers, really have high voices, so yeah, that gives you the tool to do that. Okay, so we've got a little intro, and it basically mirrors the first line of the verse. We start with an E minor, and then we got an E minor 7, and I kind of do it the lazy man's way. I just lift up my second finger for an E minor 7. E minor 7 could also be the E minor with the little finger down on the B string and the 3rd fret. That doesn't quite sound right to me, but it might be. But I like this method because it's easy and there's a fairly quick chord change there. So we got E minor, we got pick up the second finger for an E minor 7, we got A, we got C, we got G, and then we've got a B. Yeah, so B would be a bar chord that would be in here. Now, you don't really have to play the bar chord. You could do B7, and that would sound fine. I'm not really sure which one's perfect. One of the two, and you can play B7 here too, which is the A7. Move that up to the same B, or you got a B7. But I'm using a B, but if you want to use B7, you can. Doesn't really matter. Whatever sounds right for you. So but that's the chords we got. Let's see, I think I hit all of those. Now, when we get into, okay, so the first verse is the same as that. Coming in from E minor 7, London, from A, over the C, pole, G, flying like a big airliner, B. Then we're back to E minor, chicken flying, E minor 7, everywhere, A, around the C, G, could we ever feel much finer? And then it's slightly different when we go into the chorus. E minor, coming into E minor 7, Los Angeles, A, E minor, bringing in a E minor 7, couple of keys, A, E minor, don't touch my E minor 7, if you A, please, Mr. C, customs, G, man. And then we put the B, and Arlo does this, man, and then that leads right into, I mean, it's kind of like adding and on there. Let's try that once. Don't touch my bag if you please, Mr. Customs Man. And then go right into the next verse. There's a guy with a ticket to Mexico. So pretty much works its way through that same progression. So we've got 4 verses that are all, you know, fairly short. We've got the short little chorus, and that's it. We just repeat the chorus, and there's nothing really too fancy. I know there's a little guitar solo that goes over that same intro thing someplace in here, but I don't really worry about that. If you can get the words in and you can move the chords fast enough, you're in good shape. Well, it's kind of it's a fun little song, and it gives you something different to work on. And then, like I said, you know, you kind of play it in the key you want. Original key, I believe, is probably in C. Okay, so what about strumming pattern? How are we doing here? Chicken flying everywhere around the plane. Could have been people that coming in the Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Touch my bag if you please, Mr. Customs Man. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So kind of a medium pace strum, up and down, no emphasis. It's the same thing going through the whole song. All right, so there you go. Coming into Los Angeles, Arlo Guthrie, 1970. Hope you got something out of this lesson. Take it easy out there, and keep on strumming.